Hello, Virgo. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Virgo, you pulled it. One of my favorite cards. I don't get to see this one a lot, but what I think is interesting here is that you pulled Facade next to it. So this week from Le Vampire, you pulled Ancient, Ancestry, Egypt, and Magical Inheritance. But then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Facade. So really, this whole week is about getting better in touch with who you are. Now, Ancient is talking about tapping into ancestral energy and getting a better knowledge about your family and your family connections. So really it's about knowing yourself better and tapping into, whatever ancestors are coming to you right now to guide you. That's the other thing. But with Facade, it says, if you are unhappy in your relationships, you may be relating to others through a false sense of duty. Give up being something that you're not. And it's really about reclaiming your life here and possibly healing some childhood pain, especially when it comes to family connections. All right, Virgo, here we go. Here's your overall for the week. The Three of Pentacles. So work, possibly. Now, this card only shows one person, but it could also talk about you needing to work with someone. When you're looking at the Three of Pentacles, right, there's that recognition for the work that you do. There may be collaborating with other people, constructive criticism coming through, but here you're showing off your skills and your talents. Now, like I said, this could be about work, possibly some of you starting something new here or needing to work with somebody. Now, in the past, the Three of Wands, wow, already with the manifesting energy going on. So with the Three of Wands as the past coming through, you were in the waiting period here. Waiting and watching and looking out and seeing how things are developing for you. And really with the Three of Wands, you have to do this before you take any further action, right? You have more that you need to work on between both of these here. And again, working with somebody else, maybe collaborating with somebody else here. Yeah. Yep. In the present, the Three of Cups. So, and thank God this has been showing up as a good thing here recently, and it better stay that way, damn it. So with the Three of Cups, right, it is the support system. It's the people who give a shit about you and want to celebrate your accomplishments with you. There's that celebration there, but being supported in what you're doing, and again, the group shows up here, right? But I mean, so far it looks like a really good thing, especially for work for some of you. Oh boy. Okay. Future conditions, the Two of Pentacles, and that's not bad. One of the things that I point out with this one is that sign of infinity really is about you being flexible and being able to move with the changes and keeping everything going at the same time. No matter how choppy the waters are behind you, right? But, do you really want to be in that juggling act and continuously doing the same thing? One of the Two of Pentacles that I really like is from, and damn it, one of these days I'm going to have to use this damn deck, is the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot, because you see the dog walking up in the background with a bag, like a paper bag. Dude, stop doing that now. Let's have some lunch, right? But it's you get to this point here where, there may be a couple of things that you need to decide on, though, too, being the twos. I mean, you start off with the three here, but it's as things progress forward, there may be a need to manage money, possibly. Some of you may be working 2 different jobs, which is possible. And maybe needing to set one down now. If you feel like you're reaching a point of financial stability, for sure. Your best path to follow, the Chariot. Get up and get after it. Now, with the Chariot, though, right, getting control over those opposing forces. It's one of the big things that I point out with this. Yeah, it does have to do with travel. But, it's the reason why you see the black and the white. And I think that for you, I think that you really need to, get up and go after something here that you really have, a skill and talent for. It's like now is the time, right? You know, you have that self-control, but there's that momentum pushing forward here. And I feel like, you know, instead of you being here, that you need to get up on it and go. Oh, shit. Why? Why can't it ever be a good thing? Good Christ. The Page of Swords in your environment connected to the Three of Cups bothers the piss out of me. Now, with the Page of Swords, especially when you're looking at the Three of Cups, you know, it could be, like I've always referred to this combo as the cackling hen syndrome, where you have too many people saying too many different things here, and you needing to find truth and clarity through what is being told to you. Now, you know, you may have some friends coming through that may be giving you some bad news. Maybe they need your assistance here. You know, this may be something that you've been waiting on to hear, but unfortunately with the Page of Swords, it is the messenger of conflict. Like, you know, I can't stress that enough when you're looking at the sword suit. Like, I went on a whole rant about this damn card once. Ugh. And it's no wonder why you're being put in this, like, balancing act. What is the truth? You know, if you have several different people telling you different things, it may be hard to, like, direct your energy in the right spot with the Chariot being there. It's no wonder, right? But I feel like you need to get up and go after something, though, too, here. But get yourself straight as far as, like, where you're heading. You know, I mean, with the Three of Cups, right, these could be great people. Maybe they really do care about you, but it's like they all have different opinions on what they think you should be doing. But really, it's up to you to decide what the best thing is for you to do. You know, and like I said, though, with the Three of Wands, right, this may be some news that you've been waiting on to hear, and unfortunately, it's not that great of a thing. And there's a need here to, like, get some control here and start working on something. Now, on the other hand, it may be because you've been constantly waiting for something that people may be coming through telling you, you know, hey, you should do this, you should do that, and da-da-da, right? And then with the Two of Pentacles, it's like, well, you know, I would rather just stay right where I'm at, trying to balance things out, trying to make something work here. Oh, fuck. Virgo! Why? Bothers me. Your hopes and your fears, the Three of Swords. Now, as far as it being in that position, I think that this is what you've already been through. But, like, whatever you're hearing here through the Page of Swords, I think that's what you're fearing. And I think that that's probably what is going to manifest here. Because it's like you're really waiting, and very, like, you know, observant here and, like, watching and waiting. And then it's like what does come through may not be what you want to hear. With that damn Page of Swords. And then looking at the Three of Swords, yeah, it could be like a heartbreaking thing. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing here is if you have difficult news coming through, possibly about somebody close to you, it may be because there is, like, some medical thing going on. Now, I usually don't pick that up with the Three of Swords, but I feel like I need to say this because it's like you're trying to figure things out, and it's like you're all trying to work together on this, and it's like you need to get up and get going on this, right? Wow, Virgo, but I don't like that Three of Swords. You know, especially if we're talking about you having already been through this and then it just, like, repeating itself again. You know, and the reason why I say that is because you're doing the same thing over and over again. And then, wow, coming out, the sun. The sun. And again, you know, health is a thing here. And it may be that things may look down right now, but everything may start looking up here with the sun. Now, as far as the heartbreak and the bad news and, you know, people telling you a bunch of different things here, you're getting absolute clarity on everything. I mean, the sun is shining on all of it. You're seeing everything for what it really is. You know, but unfortunately here, it's like you're still kind of like in this act of, like, trying to figure things out, even though you see everything for what it really is. And then the Ace of Wands, hey, that's not too bad. But I still feel like, you know, before you can accept this, You really need to decide on where you're going to put your effort in here with the Three of Pentacles, because you need to make something work for you right now. You know, and again, like I said, if we're talking about somebody that you're dealing with that's close to you with health issues, I think everything's going to be okay, but they may need your help. But now, apart from that, like I'm hearing, you know, several different scenarios on this, and it's bugging the piss out of me, but I see one that seems to be clearer here. You waiting for something to come through. It's not what you want to hear. You've already been through this before, and it's just creating more of the same heartbreaking situation. You needing to get control here and stop balancing situations out and start putting your effort into what you know is the truth. It's not the Ace of Swords, but the sun is shining on you and the situation. You know, you see everything for what it is, but for some reason you just can't let go of one here. And again, with the Hangman, the waiting, right? Being bound to a situation here, things are moving really, really slowly with the damn Knight of Pentacles. I don't think that this is slow and steady wins the race this time. I do think that a situation is like dragging ass for you. Now, with the Ace of Wands, though, there is, you know, this new beginning here, especially with the sun, where you get to be rejuvenated. And there is, you know, new passion here, new creative ideas. You know, whatever it is, though, you have to make the choice, though, to take this. I mean, you see it for what it is. You know what you're doing to yourself right now. But I think that there's a part of you that may still be like waiting on another situation. All right, Virgo, let's take a look at your love lives and see what's going on. Okay. Judgment. Now, first of all, singles, you may have somebody that is trying to come back through, but, you know, I think that they come off as like wanting to reconcile, but with the devil being there, that's not what it is. Somebody is just wanting to have you because of lust. That's basically what that is. And that's it. Now, you could just say that it could be a Capricorn. Sure, but, you know, I take this deck seriously when it comes to, you know, the images and why they show up the way they do. So I am going to say this. For some of you, I am worried about somebody coming through under false pretenses here. They're just wanting something from you, and then they're going to be out. Now, as far as couples go, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. You need to free yourself of the stagnation within a relationship here with Judgment. Judgment blows all that crap away in a relationship, and it brings you closer together. Love at first sight is one of the things that's attached to this card. But like I said, it's like in a major way here, just blowing everything out and making everything new, especially within a relationship, because you see that there's a good bond there. It's just that somewhere something may have gone wrong, but there's a chance here to like bring it back to life, so to speak. I mean, it's not bad, but I do worry about singles. Just be careful with that. You know, if you have somebody coming back through that's wanting to offer you something, you better question what the hell it is that they want. And I'm just saying that for those of you who, you know, resonate with that message. You know, and like I said, for some of you, it could just be Capricorn. But now, overall here, Virgo, that Ace of Wands is there for you. But it's really about whether or not you're ready to take this and make the most of it. Because I think some of you are still waiting on a different situation. All right, Virgo, so I feel like I'm talking to 3 different groups here. Like I'm seriously getting so many different things on this. 1, this is going to be a work situation. Some of you may be getting some difficult news as far as work here. There's a need for you to kind of balance things out, but then you reach the sun where things may start moving slowly, but you ultimately get to this place where there's this new beginning. Then there are those of you who are dealing with health issues, whether it's there's a need for you to work with some people here to get things taken care of. It may be a slow-going process, but eventually here you reach the Ace of Wands. Now, the main one that I'm really getting out of this You have been waiting to hear something. And in the meantime, you have people coming through here that may support you, but they could also be the ones here that are telling you several different things. And it may be hard for you to kind of see the clarity of the situation. I don't think that these people are purposely trying to cause you heartbreak. I think that that is a separate situation that you're dealing with right now. Now, for some of you, you may be reaching out to your friends here because you're going to hear something that, again, is not what you want to hear. And you're already fearing this because of the Three of Swords being there. Now, I think that you've already been through this, but it's like repeating itself. But you're still wanting to put your effort into this. But I do think that you need to start putting in your skills and your talents towards something else. But, like I said, with the Chariot, it's like you need to get up and go after it. You need to stop being pulled in so many different ways here and look for that truth and clarity. But, you ultimately get it, but it's in the form of the Sun, which means that, if it would have been the Ace of Swords, it would have been like, okay, there's decisiveness here and actual mental clarity on what needs to be done. But with the Sun, all that's showing is that you're seeing everything for what it is, but yet you continue to do the balancing act. And again, it's because you're waiting. You're waiting on something here, and it's like you're going to continue to hang in there and wait. With the Hangman, constantly trying to see things from a different perspective when you know that what's coming through right now may not be the full truth, or it could just be that you're hearing something that you don't want to hear. Now, again, things are moving really slowly here, but eventually you get to this Ace of Wands. Now, if you're waiting on a situation with the Knight of Pentacles, it's continuing to wait. But in the meantime, there's this Ace of Wands there. Now, are you working toward this, or are you going to continue to wait? And again, it brings me back to this, and you see it for what it is, You know. Sorry, guys. But what bothers me is how this ties into the Oracle cards, where there's a need for you to get a better understanding of who you are and stop being something that you're not, out of a false sense of duty for someone else, But like I said, the Three of Cups, I think, is an outside thing. I don't think that they're directly connected because, I see you with your back turned to them because you're still waiting. But at the same time, you may be getting different voices telling you different things. Now, as far as relationships go, singles, reconciliation and the Devil, right? Possibly just a Capricorn from the past coming through trying to make amends. But the other problem here is that with the Devil, like I said, I take these seriously when it comes to the images. This is somebody who is just wanting to get what they can have from you, right? It's about lust. There's no other interest there, but they're coming in under the pretense of trying to fix things, but they're not. So I would be careful, Virgo, for those of you who have somebody from the past trying to come back through. And again, general messages, not going to resonate with everybody. Couples. This is a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Free yourself, but then judgment, right? It's really about blowing away the stagnation in a relationship. There is a really good bond there. But it's needing to clear everything out and get back to a happy place, breathing life back into a relationship, and a good one at that, with judgment being there. But needing to free yourself of, whatever things may be weighing you down in the relationship. But Virgo, I worry a little bit for those of you coming out, right? For some of you, you just need to get back in touch with yourself. And don't hold out